You know what that sound is? That's the sound of getting the keys. Not just the keys.
That's somebody Bank of America alert going off.
Yeah.
That's a big deposit coming,
that's
man.
The keys, the garage, the parking deck.
It's a 12-car garage.
Yeah,
all of it.
That's everything.
Whew.
That's what Lamelo Ball got.
Lamelo, let me hold something, man.
The second largest contract in NBA history.
Whew.
Up to $260 million for 5 years. Michael Jordan's cheap though.
Yeah.
So this gotta be fake news.
That's gotta be fake news. This
can't be true.
Because somebody told me, because a lot of people told me LaMelo was leaving after last season, man, and Michael wasn't gonna pay him. So
LaMelo Ball.
He was out of here.
Or it don't matter that he signed it. He's still gonna
find a way to leave.
As if contracts don't exist. You think LaMelo Ball's gonna turn down $52 million?
But there were two people who kept on saying
there was a lot of people.
But there were two people in particular that kept saying LaMelo's not gonna turn down that much money from. I don't know who those two people are, man, but kudos to them for trying to tell Hornets fans he wasn't going anywhere. I don't know who those people are.
LaMelo Ball is not stupid. No one else can pay him what the Charlotte Hornets can pay him, and
there's that.
That's as simple as that.
Pretty much, LaMelo, let under construction just hold something, man. Look, man. We need to pay for some more followers. We need to spruce up the studio.
We need our own the studio, the whole
all that, man.
Yeah, we'll put a big LaMelo Ball poster in the back.
We need to pay a producer. Yeah,
just
bobblehead LaMelo back there.
Take that to call us.
Right.
We call it Band Productions. We're there.
Oh my God. Could you imagine that?
By the way, let me get this out of the way, okay?
Ooh,
all
man.
right. So now everyone's coming out like, LeVar Ball. Why doesn't Del Curry ever get that kind of
Kaiser? Don't ask questions you already know the answer
just
to.
Saying,
man. You know why?
When Steph Curry signed what was then the biggest contract in NBA history,
right? Nobody said a peep about Del Curry.
Congratulations, Del Curry.
And nobody said that. Who also has
got two
really good sons
that are still in the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't know if Lonzo Ball will ever play again.
I'm not even gonna joke about Lonzo because that's really serious.
It's really sad.
I don't wish that on anybody, man. But Dell ain't promoting shoes, and he ain't all up in the camera, all up in the video, all in the video. Dell ain't that guy. So
But hey, I'm happy for LaMelo Ball. And
I'm happier as a Hornets fan because God, boy, if he didn't sign, Lord have mercy. Could we have taken that, man? Seriously, let's get that out the way. What if he didn't sign? Could we take 2 horrific off seasons in a row?
So here's the thing: LaMelo Ball's rookie extension wasn't even due till the end of this season,
right.
Next season. So nothing would have happened this season. The question would have been, will next season, let's say the Hornets extend a qualifying offer and LaMelo turns it down and decides to be a restricted free agent. Okay, then you would have had people saying, see, LaMelo don't want to be here.
Right.
But the fact that they got this deal done a whole offseason before his rookie extension was even due, that says a lot.
Yeah. And quite honestly, man, I didn't see this coming this offseason. I really didn't see this coming, man.
Yeah.
I didn't.
It puts things into perspective. Mitch saying, hey, we're not going to go after a lot of free agents this year. And then, them extending qualifying offers to Miles, PJ, and
Maladon.
Teo Maladon. Yeah. And then everyone's, kind of freaking out about that. And then bam, second largest contract in NBA history.
Right.
Some details about that. There's a caveat with that. It's only $207 million. But if LaMelo Ball makes an all NBA team,
right,
then
it jumps up.
And he'll get that nice $260 million.
I'll tell you something. Did you see the contract Halliburton got from the Pacers? Because he got it. LaMelo signed yesterday?
Yes.
And Halliburton signed Friday. When I saw Halliburton sign Friday, I started sweating. I was like, oh, God. Because they gave him the same deal. So, conventional wisdom tells you if Tyrese Halliburton got max, you know it had to come for LaMelo.
Oh, no, yeah. LaMelo Ball was always going to get a max. I've always maintained that his rookie extension, the Hornets were just going to offer max, and Melo would take it because he really didn't have any other choice,
Yeah,
honestly.
no doubt. And look, man, I know it's against fan law. I know it is not popular to give our GM props, but props to Mitch Kupchak for taking care of this, man, and nipping this in the bud.
What did I say last week about Mitch Kupchak?
What we both said, you're not going to see it coming, bro.
Well, he takes care of his guys.
He takes care of his guys.
He's got a guy.
Yeah.
Like Kobe was his guy. I know he didn't draft Kobe,
right,
but he was like, I'm going to keep Kobe Bryant happy.
LaMelo's his guy, and he's taking care of his guy.
Think about this. Think about all of the draft picks that Mitch Kupchak has had in his entire career. Let's count since he's been a GM, not a front office guy, so we don't get to count Kobe Bryant. Is LaMelo his best pick? Is that his best player? Wouldn't that be the guy you hang your hat on?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, damn sure for the Hornets. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's going to cement his legacy.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and not to be Captain Obvious, but you can't screw that up, man. Especially if you're the Charlotte Hornets, dude. Like, again, PR suicide if this doesn't happen next season. You absolute PR suicide. So again, I give him credit for go ahead and nipping this in the bud this season. So we are on the way to avoiding another disastrous offseason, okay? We got that out the way. Now it's time to focus on other things for this offseason. So props to him, man.
There is an elephant. In fact, there are a few elephants in the room, however.
Well, there always are.
Okay.
There's some people saying LaMelo got too much.
A lot of people saying LaMelo wasn't worth this contract. Mainly because there are injury concerns. Now, I have maintained that you could put the injury-prone label on Lamelo Ball. He has played in 3 seasons, 2 seasons worth of basketball. Literally, he's missed 83 games out of the 3 possible seasons that he could have played. And that hasn't been in one chunk. It's been here or there. Or, the Hornets will make a run, and then Lamelo Ball gets injured. So a lot of people feel like this was way too much to pay this season for Lamelo Ball, considering he's coming off a broken ankle surgery. In that we should have waited next season. We should have waited to see if he was going to have a full healthy season before giving him this bag.
I don't agree with that at all. I'm sorry. I get it. I completely understand, but I offer the example of Steph Curry, who was probably a little injury prone himself his first 3 seasons. Joel Embiid, who hardly played at all.
Didn't play at all his first 2 seasons.
And those franchises didn't give up on their guys. So to me, the Hornets did the right thing. And again, man, as a front office person, I don't think you ever go into a season expecting people to be hurt. I don't, like, unless there's like a, what do you call that kind of injury, man? That kind of something that just has lingered on throughout your career.
Oh, right, like a chronic injury.
Like a chronic injury. Like if it's something like that, then yeah, it gives you cause for pause. But we're not there yet with LaMelo, and Philly wasn't there yet with Embiid. You get what I'm saying, man. So there's at this point in time, there's no reason for them to just expect him to be this injury-prone guy going forward, man.
Yeah, same here. I mean, you have to assume he's going to be healthy.
Right.
And if he gets injured, okay, well then, all right, well then, that's...
It's not on you. But see, again, I'm going to go back to this. From a PR perspective, if he gets hurt, then I'm sorry, you can't blame the organization.
But people will.
Of course they will. But logical people
are
not going to...
Right.
How can you sit there and blame the organization for paying who they believe is their guy going forward?
Plus, this is key because now it opens up things in the future for free agency. Okay,
that part. So
you re-sign your guys, your core.
Right.
You're gonna have LaMelo Ball, probably Miles Bridges. We'll talk about in a minute. Mark Williams, PJ Washington, and whoever plays.
Maybe PJ Washington.
Yeah,
maybe.
But you're at least going to have a core of 3 solid players.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And
Brandon Miller.
You get their contracts out of the way.
Yeah. You don't worry about it.
Done,
yeah. Right.
Nick Batum's off the books. You're probably going to be able to trade Gordon Hayward and probably be able to trade Terry Rozier. That's going to open up like $50 million in cap space right there.
Right.
You've already got your core signed. You don't have to worry about them next season after you have what we anticipate to be a more successful season than the previous seasons. Now you can look at a bigger free agent to bring in to solidify.
And more importantly, available money to pay them.
Absolutely.
For those who understand how salary cap works.
If you had waited a season
right.
to pay Melo the max, well, you can't sign any other big free agents that same year.
So what you're saying is that we have a GM who has some foresight.
Whoa!
Is that what
I can't go that far?
I'm just asking.
No, but I mean, Mitch. Here's the thing: you people can say whatever they want about Mitch Kupchak. He got 10 of them. He got 1 ring for each finger. 3 as a player, 7 as a front office executive. The man knows the NBA. He knows how to run a team. He has, as a GM outright, he's got 2 championships. How many did Rich Cho have? How many does any Charlotte Hornets GM have? How many do any GMs in the league have?
Right.
The guy knows a little bit about basketball. I'm going to give him that. Does he always hit it out of the park? No. And in fact, his biggest failings have been in free agency. If you look at what he did with the Lakers, which was kind of astonishing considering how easy it is to get free agents with LA. But I think that was part of the problem. He was able to get Steve Nash, Dwight Howard, fairly easy. Meta World Peace.
But I'll offer this really quick context. We won't go too deep into this, but imagine being a GM and trying to make a superstar happy. A LeBron James, a Kobe Bryant. That's a different ball game, man. I'm going to just leave it at that. Yeah. So,
and LaMelo's getting the superstar treatment from Mitch Kupchak.
So far.
I can't disagree with. I mean, who else you gonna? I'm not of the school of thought that, even though I've said in the past that I've always felt like it's better to not necessarily build around LaMelo, but have LaMelo be a complementary piece to another
second or third guy.
Yeah, another elite player. But clearly, the Hornets have said, nope, LaMelo's our guy. And we're gonna ride it out.
We're gonna ride out. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm along for the ride.
And but speaking of that, man, like, you know, not to look too far ahead, man, but down the road, you know, hopefully, and I'm just being hopeful. Hopefully, Charlotte will be a place where that guy, that number one guy, whoever that guy may be, can look at Charlotte and say, you know what, man, LaMelo looks like a guy I really want to play with. Yeah. LaMelo can make me better, and I can make that team better.
Think about this. You saying that if you were DeJounte Murray, I'm trying to think of 2 guards that would be available in free agency coming up in the next few years. You wouldn't want to play with LaMelo, Miles, Miller, and Williams. You wouldn't want to play with Mark Williams, Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, and LaMelo Ball.
I'm just saying, bro.
You wouldn't want.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That looks attractive to me, right? Because what are free agents truly attracted to, Kaza? Not this lazy narrative that, Michael don't want to pay nobody. Listen, free agents are attracted to attractive situations.
Yes.
And we are in the very beginning stages of making our situation that much more attractive.
That's why Dame Lillard is requesting a
trade. Because the situation. You know why? Kaza? Because that Miami situation, Dame Lillard said, I can get them over the top.
Yep.
It's simple as that. It is as simple as that. Yep. And hopefully Charlotte will be the Miami one day. That's it. Yep. That's it.
Absolutely. Now, the other elephant in the room, as Swagner says, LaMelo can't say he doesn't have the keys. Yeah, that's true. This is it is all on you.
It's all on you, buddy. It's all on you.
No, we can no longer blame the front office or anyone else for the future failings of the Charlotte Hornets.
Right.
If LaMelo Ball doesn't live up to this contract. He's the guy.
He's the guy. Because look, fair or unfair, when you get that contract, when your franchise is taking care of you every single way they can, you got to get the blame too. I didn't write the rules. LeBron gets the blame when the Lakers lose. You understand what I'm saying? Kevin Durant gets the blame when the Suns lose. We're here.
There can no longer be this idea that we didn't try and build around LaMelo. I mean, look at what we were working with outside of the top 10 for most of our picks.
This organization infuriated their fan base 2 weeks ago. You think they did that because, we really thought Brandon Miller was, stop it. Cupcake, stop lying. Just say it, man.
that was LaMelo's guy.
Just say your boy wanted Brandon Miller and be done with it.
Yep. And you're going to re-sign his best friend, Miles Bridges. And then now he's got a more than capable center to play with it. I think LaMelo really likes playing with Mark Williams. Right. This is LaMelo's team. Now really you just got to work on depth.
Right, no doubt. Still want to add talent to the team. I mean,
of course.
Yeah.
So it's all Melo. Having said that, if he stays healthy, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, no doubt. Same.
He can make an All-NBA. He'll certainly be an All-Star.
Look, man, we saw the effects of him not being on the floor last season. You know what I mean? When
LaMelo's out there, it's completely different.
It's completely different. It is. That offense gets stuck in the mud when he's not out there, man. So he's that much of a difference maker. Truly.
Yeah, absolutely. So congratulations to LaMelo Ball. Plus, 5 years. Let's say he only. Because, the last year of a player's contract is always kind of iffy, right?
Right.
But at least now we got him for at least 4 more years, I think.
Yep.
And so that's 4 more years to build. That's 4 more.
That's
years.
Enough time.
You're probably going to re-sign Miles Bridges for about 4 years as well.
Right.
You're going to keep those guys together.
Right. And look, me and you said it. Because there are so many people, especially me, who want to say that I'm delusional. And I'm oh man, you just being a super fan. Let me say this again. If we don't build a team that can compete for a title by the time LaMelo's next contract is up, he should leave.
We've said that many times.
We've said that plenty of times. Yeah. So again, man, the opportunity for the Hornets to take that next step in the next 4 to 5 years, it is totally there now.
It's totally there.
This is not the Rich Cho era where you have just a bunch of guys.
I want to ask you this. I want to ask those watching this. Have you ever been this excited for a season in the Rich Cho era?
I have not. Never.
I can't think of any time where I was like, I can't wait.
I think we all were a little excited when we signed Lance Stevenson, but then we saw how that turned out.
Yeah, I was excited about that, but not like
this.
Not like this. Like there's clearer direction, which is odd because Mitch plays things very close to the vest. So. But there seems to be a very clearer direction.
Absolutely, and I think the salary cap is managed a lot better under the Mitch. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody's going to point at Hayward's contract, which is fine. I mean, I get it, but outside of that, man,
Hayward's contract has not hamstrung the team in any way, though.
And especially since we're here in the last year of his deal, it's actually going to be an asset. Yeah. This coming season.
We were able to re-sign our key guys. And we still brought in quality free agents: Kelly Oubre, Dennis Smith Jr.
Speaking of Dennis Smith Jr.,
let's go ahead and talk about that.
That's my one disappointment so far.
So Dennis Smith Jr. has signed a 1 year,
$2.5 million. It's a little disappointing, man.
Year deal with the Brooklyn Nets. I'm disappointed because and the Hornets sources had stated that Dennis Smith Jr. was one of their targets,
right?
That the Hornets were thinking about keeping,
right?
And it would appear that wasn't the case because you let him go for such a
cheap amount of money, right?
But we don't really know what the Nets said to DSJ,
exactly,
because we do know the Nets aggressively pursued him. Like that was the first call they made.
They made was that
midnight, July 1st.
Right.
They called Dennis Smith Jr.'s agent.
Right.
And consider that Dennis Smith Jr. knows that he will never start for the Charlotte Hornets. But he maybe could start for Brooklyn. They're not rebuilding, but they're retooling.
Yeah.
With Kevin Durant leaving, and they have a decent core there. And obviously, they really wanted Dennis Smith Jr.
Yeah.
So,
with that being said, $2.5 million, that's nothing.
But what if they said, okay, $2.5 million, we'll give you a 1 year, $2.5 million prove it deal, but you get to start. Now, Dennis Smith Jr. is only 25 years old.
Very true.
He came into the league 5 years ago.
I'll tell you this much.
He still feels like he's a top lottery pick.
Let me tell you. I'll say this much. I wouldn't like my agent too much if I was Dennis Smith Jr. because the thing is, man, like last season should have been your prove-it deal because you got pennies. And then he got an unguaranteed contract last season. So if I'm Dennis Smith Jr., I was like, okay, what else I got to prove, man? Especially if you want me this bad.
Right, yeah.
You know, you get what I'm saying?
Considering the Nets were like, we really wanted DSJ, and we called him, all you got is 2 point. Like, when we signed Tony Parker, we paid him more than that.
We paid him more than that. And he was 42 years old.
Yeah.
Not really, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you this question, man. Because like you said, we don't know everything that transpired with Dennis Smith Jr. and the Hornets and the Nets. But I want to ask you this because this is something that I just kind of surmise. I kind of think this was kind of a development too. I think the priority changed the night we drafted Nick Smith Jr. Because I believe the Hornets didn't expect Nick Smith Jr. to be there.
That's true.
At that pick. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when they got Nick Smith, I think that kind of changed everything. I believe because Nick Smith is kind of listed as a combo guard, which ain't that far from what Dennis Smith Jr. is. You know what I mean? He's a little more of a point guard, but you get what I'm saying. I do believe the Hornets probably think Nick Smith is going to be their backup point guard going to next season, man.
If you re-sign DSJ, that means
there's a bigger log jam too.
Someone's got to go to
somebody got to go.
Someone's got to go to Greensboro, and I get the feeling. I agree. I don't think they want Nick Smith Jr. to spend a lot of time in Greensboro.
But Constance, they shouldn't. That Nick Smith ain't Greensboro material, bro. Well, he's day one rotation guy, in my opinion.
This could be another thing, Mitch, going all in on.
And with Nick Smith, I don't blame him, man. Like just from my talent evaluation eyes or whatever. Again, Nick Smith ain't somebody you go stash in Greensboro. He's going to be day one rotation guy. So I just think that had a lot to do with Dennis Smith not being
here,
man.
Let's be honest, this is a backup point guard. And although a backup point guard is very key, particularly when you're starting point guard, can have injury issues.
Yeah.
But I think the Hornets would be okay with saying, okay, if Lamelo goes down, we want Nick Smith Jr. out there showing what he could do.
Dog, that's not a bad prop. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to throw something out here real quick. We throw something out here. So they offered Maladon the qualifying offer. If he doesn't take it, there's a spot for a third point guard position. Bring back Kimba. Yes, I said it. Yes. Call my man up. Bring him back.
I was talking about that with our guy JG earlier. I don't see any harm in bringing back Kimba.
Not as no third point guard, especially in that role. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we talk about how much we need better. We do need some veterans.
Which is another big point.
We bring in a guy who's beloved by the city.
Great leader.
Knows the coach better than
anybody.
Else.
Right. Right.
Bring him in, and I think that would be
awesome to me, man. Hornets, yeah.
But Taylor Maladon won't turn down the qualifying.
I don't think so.
They're going to resign him.
Yep.
Also, consider this: with Dennis Smith Jr. gone, Terry Rozier is the only player on the roster under 6'5". Now, although Maladon and maybe Book Knight are like
closer to 6'3", maybe.
Well, 6'4"-ish. Mm-hmm. Maladon is listed as 6'5", and so is Book Knight, but realistic. But still, like Terry Rozier is 6'1".
Right.
Dennis Smith Jr. was 6'1". We ain't got no more shorties on the team.
Right.
And I think that is part of the direction. And I think that had a lot to do with the Brandon Miller versus Scoot pick.
That's a great point, man.
Like we understand that, okay, our team sucks defensively. What's the best way to mitigate that?
Length. Right.
Size.
Especially on the perimeter.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I think that Orlando Magic game.
That was a dog.
We talk about that every week.
We talk about that. We highlight that game more than any game last season. But me and you both believe that was an eye opener for that team, man. I really do, bro. I agree.
Not the the game Jordan.
That was the game Jordan said, "I'm done."
Right, yeah, Jordan was looking like I can't take this anymore.
The look on Jordan's face said, "I can't take this
anymore." That was the
anymore.
first time I had seen the Hornets afraid of a bigger team.
Exactly.
They were afraid of the size of the Orlando's a big team.
Yeah.
And I think they said, okay,
we can't do this anymore.
We can't have a 6'2", 6'1" guy playing shooting guard back there.
Right.
So I think, that might have had a lot to do with it.
I agree. Totally agree.
And I think that had a lot to do with them not bringing back Isaiah Thomas last season.
Yeah.
So
because we were all on the Isaiah Thomas bandwagon, man.
Same with Diaz. Yep.
Yeah, and it kind of surprised me, but explaining it that way because again, I'm gonna go back to Nick Smith Jr. again. I'm gonna keep bringing his name up. Nick Smith Jr. He's 6'5".
6'5". Yeah.
Again, combo guard.
Yep. And that might also have a lot to do with Kelly Oubre not being re-signed.
That's going to be this because all signs are pointing to him not coming back, which is again more disappointing to me as well. But let me explain again why I wanted Kelly back so bad, man. Because I heard some guy on the radio, and this was just a ridiculous take. It just let me know that people really don't pay attention to the Hornets. Some radio personality said, Kelly Oubre is the guy that can average 20 points a game, but it still feels like he's hurting your team.
How does that even make sense?
What they were trying to explain was his inefficiency. But that lets me know that we're not watching because Kelly Oubre last season, that inefficiency got a little better last year because he started taking the ball to the basket. He shot more free throws. Yep. He was more engaged on defense. If you watched Hornets basketball, you could see all that.
Kelly Oubre's best statistical season
was last year. Right.
More than any other franchise that he was with.
And I've said this to you a lot, man. Like him and Dennis Smith Jr., I felt were culturally what you wanted for this team going forward. And
Kelly Oubre is a sixth man. If he came back, he'd come back as a sixth man.
It's a short list of six men. I want more than Kelly Oubre.
Exactly. And inefficiency when it comes to six men, that's part of you're willing to take that inefficiency so you get them 30-point games. Look at Sacramento. And why do you think everyone loves
Malik Monk? Because he's in the perfect role for them right now. Exactly.
He just every once in a while he needs to show up and have a huge game, which is what Kelly Oubre did for us. And I feel like considering how much we had to lean on him last season, just to scrape up 27 wins. But before he eventually got injured, but for a while he was the most durable Hornet.
Exactly.
I feel like the Hornets kind of owe him.
I agree. But
if you're Kelly Oubre's agent,
you trying to get paid, and I don't blame him.
Yep, and your guy has his best statistical season ever. 20-point scorer.
I cannot blame him for going to chase some money, bro.
Yep. His agent is probably like, hold on,
Charlotte.
Let's see what else is out there. And he's a UFA too.
Right. That's just being a good agent.
Absolutely.
That's just being a good. I cannot blame them for that, man. As selfishly as much as I want Oubre back, man, I can't blame them for that, man.
Yep. The question.
What we got?
One of the questions is McGowan's growth for a reason they might not bring back Oubre. Absolutely.
I think so.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm
all in on Bryce McGowan.
I think so. Yeah. Because we've made mention a lot about the log jam at the wing position. And specifically we said at some point, man, you can't keep everybody and you're going to have to start defining roles.
Whoa, logical comment of the day.
What's up?
Truth be told, Kelly Oubre was more efficient than Fred VanVleet. That can't be right.
That can't be true. No.
Fans told me that Fred VanVleet was the guy we should have drafted.
Speaking of getting broke off, you see how what Houston gave him? Man, my God. Godspeed, Houston.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Good luck with Jalen Green. I'm like, no, we're not.
We ain't gonna do that. Please, we're gonna leave that one alone.
Any news on Bridges and PJ Washington? Could we give Kelly the mill of exception? That's actually a great point.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Let me say this real quick. If the Hornets can get away With giving Kelly Oubre the mid-level exception, that is the win of the offseason, in my opinion.
They could afford to re-sign Kelly as long as he doesn't ask for like an astronomical amount.
Right.
The question is, what does Kelly and his team?
What are they wanting?
What do they want to do?
Right.
Obviously, they're going to look. They're going to see what the market is like for a guy like him, and then they're going to come back to the table with Charlotte. Now, hopefully, for Kelly Oubre, they don't fumble the bag on this one, because Mitch might say, you know what, Nick Smith and Bryce,
yeah,
man, I don't know, man.
We kind of like them.
Yeah. You know, Book night, we don't plan on putting him back in Greensboro.
Right.
Sorry, Kelly.
Right.
You kind of missed the boat. But as far as Bridges and PJ, there was a report, and I don't know how much stock to put into. At first, I saw it on Facebook on one of them like fake NBA news sites, but then it gained a little bit of traction throughout the Twitterverse, and essentially they were saying that Miles Bridges' team has gone to the Hornets,
Rich Paul, Clutch Sports,
and asked him to rescind the qualifying offer, which would in turn make Miles Bridges an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
why would the Hornets do that? But go ahead, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
At first, I was like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But knowing what we know about Clutch Sports, they probably did.
It's not surprising.
No,
I don't know why they did it, but I'm pretty sure they did do that.
Because they know that what probably happened is, okay, free agency starts July 1st, but let's be real. People are talking.
They were talking way before July 1st. That, right? Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm sure the Pistons or somebody was like, hey, man, we'll give Miles the max.
What you want. Right.
So Charlotte's not going to offer Miles the max.
Right.
And
not yet.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
But being an unrestricted free agent, it doesn't matter. Anyone can offer him
anything,
the max, right?
Yeah.
If that report is true, then I know a player isn't their agent, and vice versa. But if that report is true, that's very disappointing, considering we've been riding. When I say we, I mean the Hornets, not we.
Yeah.
The Hornets been riding with you
all throughout this process.
They
could have cut all ties with you from the jump.
But they stuck
by your side.
Yep. And you got paid.
Right.
You got paid while you wasn't playing. So you was making free money. You made all the rap videos, all the time to make rap videos on Michael Jordan's
on Michael Jordan's time.
Yep. And now you like, okay, now I want to be a UFA. Man, you better sign this qualifying offer.
For real.
Yeah.
Seriously. Stop it, man.
Well, I mean, he can decline the qualifying offer and then be a restricted free agent, but we're gonna match and you're gonna play for us.
And then there's another factor to this too. You and Lamelo are supposed to be boys, right?
Yes.
Lamelo just signed a long-term deal.
Yep.
He's probably expecting you to be back.
That report about Miles came out before the Lamelo deal.
Right. But still, man, it's like, why would Lamelo wants you back?
And I got to think during these negotiations with Lamelo and his team, they said we're going to bring back Miles.
Right.
They had to have said
that. Yeah. So there was another report that came out yesterday that basically stated that the Hornets are interested in Grant Williams, and I thought that was odd. I thought that was a little odd because my first thought process was, if you're truly trying to bring back Miles and PJ, you don't need a Grant Williams. Grant Williams is not going to be a third power forward, so that doesn't make any sense.
Maybe it's a contingency plan.
That's what I'm thinking.
What's going to happen with PJ?
Right.
And honestly, the more I think about it, PJ is going to get a great deal, and the Hornets aren't going to match.
Right. I agree. I think so.
And they're going to feel like,
and Grant's going to be Grant Williams. Somebody like Grant Williams is more affordable.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that opens the door for Brandon Miller to start day one, and someone like Grant Williams, who would be pretty decent off the bench.
Yep.
I think that's what the Hornets are planning. That's their plan B.
Yeah.
They would prefer to retain PJ, but
I like plan A a lot better, quite honestly.
Well, I mean, if somebody wants to give PJ $18 million a year,
Godspeed.
Yeah.
Good luck. I wouldn't do it.
That's a lot of Instagram dollars. $18 million. And he's, you know what? He should take it.
Yeah, of course. Them DMs are gonna be popping, boy.
So,
yeah.
17 is the max I would pay for PJ Washington, and that would hurt my soul
to even pay him that much.
I'd rather pay Gordon Hayward another $30 million than to pay PJ.
Boy, you know that's an unpopular
17. Yeah, I mean that's like I feel like 15, 16 is
the range, which should be the range.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. But let me. Are you a little nervous about Miles? I am. I'm a little nervous because the reason why I say that is because last week on this show, I thought that deal would be done day one, considering everything that's transpired with this team and him. You understand?
There's a lot of interest in Miles Bridges. A lot of our fans don't realize how valuable Miles Bridges is to the rest of the league. You got a guy who probably should have been an all-star the year before last. Right. He was the leading vote getter for players, but the fan and the coach's vote didn't match up, so he didn't make the team. But players,
they raised value to do it. Yeah.
He was our leading scorer. He had every year he has been a Hornet. He's gotten better. I remember when the knock on Miles Bridges was he can't create his own shot.
He got better at that.
And then remember all the videos came out with him in the offseason, man. I want to see him do that in a game.
Then he started doing it in the game.
Then he started doing it in the game.
Right.
So teams see that. We got a guy who's only 23, 24 years old.
Right. Very competitive.
Super athletic.
Yeah.
Rising Stars MVP. And I know it's the Rising Stars game. But did y'all see that game? Did y'all see Miles Bridges throw it off the backboard and windmill it to himself in the game? So I'm just saying teams look at Miles Bridges and they want to sign him. So I think the Hornets underestimated the interest from the rest of the league on Miles Bridges due to the legal issue.
Absolutely, man.
Now the offers are going to come in.
Right. I think the offers are coming in. I mean, I don't want to overreact. We're day 2 of free agency, day 3, whatever. So I don't want to overreact, man. I just thought this would be done by now and we wouldn't sweat it. Now, I will say this. I feel so much better that the Lamelo thing is out the way. And I think it opens so many doors for the Hornets to, do whatever they're going to do this offseason. But, I mean, it's Sunday. I would like to hear some news by the time I go to bed tonight. Yeah. It'll be nice. You know what I mean? It'll be nice.
Let's say Detroit says, or LA. The Lakers, because you think the Lakers wouldn't love Miles?
Well, time out. Now the Lakers have signed a couple of guys, and I, as much as it burns my soul to give the Lakers props for anything, that Gabe Vincent signing was pretty damn big, man. But my question is, where's all this damn money coming from? Like, where would they get the money to sign Miles Bridges?
Restructure and then go over the cap is very soft, especially for teams like the Lakers, where the Buss family will pay so much over. They'll pay the luxury tax until they die.
But you can't do that if you're going after an outright free agent. You can do that signing your own guys.
But see, you restructure your
that's
own
a lot
guys.
Of restructuring. That's a whole lot of restructuring. I get what you're saying, but
they can do it. I mean, trading away Russell Westbrook
opened up a lot of
money. Yeah.
Right.
But I'm just saying, let's say another team, and Miles Bridges' name has been attached to Detroit for a while, says, okay, Miles, we're gonna give you 150.
Right.
You matching if you're the Hornets?
You got to think hard about it. You got to think very hard about it,
because if
you may not want to.
You kind of have to.
That's kind of where I'm going with this.
Because this sets you back a little if you don't resign Miles.
And do we have any room for any more setbacks after last offseason? Yeah. That's my point,
unless you had a plan B, which I don't think Brandon Miller is the plan B for Miles.
Not for Miles Bridges.
But here's the thing: you can't lose Miles and PJ.
Nah, can't. Mm-mm.
You can let one go.
Because I'm not Miles and PJ versus JT Thor and Grant Williams. Which one you want?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Let's say they let Miles go. Okay, Brandon Miller and PJ Washington. That's a pretty good front court.
Right.
But I feel like Miles with PJ and or Miller is a lot better. You have a lot better freedom in your rotations because Miller, he can play the two sometimes.
A whole lot more flexibility, man. Yep.
I just kind of feel like you have to re-sign Miles. And I say this from a purely basketball standpoint. I don't want to talk about the legal stuff. We talked about that
enough
ad nauseum over the last year.
Right.
But from a pure basketball standpoint, especially since you just re-signed LaMelo Ball and you got to give Miles.
Money. And with all that being said, you think Clutch Sports doesn't know that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're like they're. I guess from a purely business perspective, if I'm Clutch Sports, I try to put the pressure on the Hornets to get my guy more money. I mean, that's your job. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if I'm Miles Bridges, man,
if I'm Mitch, I'm gonna be like,
right. Excuse me, sir. If you what? Yeah. Well, how we get here? Like we did what for you and you? Yeah.
Especially, I know when the league did their investigation, the Hornets probably were doing everything they could to make Miles Bridges seem like an angel from the heavens.
Right.
Yeah, he would never hurt his family.
This is a one-time thing. It's a big mistake. Let's all move on. Yeah.
I'm just saying, Clutch Sports, do the right thing.
With all that being said, the Hornets and Mitch Kupchak would be absolutely foolish to lift that unrestricted.
They're not rescinding that qualifying offer.
Hell no.
That would be the dumbest move.
That would be earned criticism if they did something like that.
I can think of very few times where teams have done that, regardless of.
Why would they?
I know it has happened before. I think Hornets did it with Malik Monk.
Right.
They rescinded, or actually, they just didn't make him qualify.
Yeah. That's what it was.
They didn't put it out there and then take it back.
But this team obviously ain't done with Miles Bridges, so
look, we've invested
a lot
into you.
A lot.
You're gonna put this uniform on. You're gonna play with Lamelo Ball, damn it.
Right.
You're gonna catch alley-oops. That's what you're gonna do.
Damn right.
And it could be one of those things where, like, Miles probably wants to stay a Charlotte Hornet, but the agent is not the player, and a lot of times the player is not even in those discussions. We all know the story about Kemba Walker almost firing his agent because the Hornets lowballed him. They did lowball him.
Yeah. With
that $12 million deal, and his agent turned it down.
I will say the Hornets probably knew something we didn't know. I know you know what I mean. I think they knew a lot more about Kemba's health than we all did.
That could be.
I really believe that.
But his agent turned the offer down on Kemba when he found out.
Yeah.
Threatened to fire his agent.
Right.
And went in and accepted the offer, and the rest is Hornets history.
No doubt.
So it could be the same situation with Miles Bridges. He might not know what Clutch Sports is. He might just, hey man, get me signed, get me the bag.
Yeah.
So,
man, so we haven't really gotten here yet. Trade targets. Rozier's name's coming up probably more often than anybody, quite honestly, man.
Yeah.
So, Kaiser, why does everybody want to get rid of Terry Rozier so bad? What's the deal with him in particular? I think you already explained it, kind of, sort of, with the size thing, but
people are still mad at the Terry Rozier Kemba Walker trade. People still mad at that.
Kaiser, if I'm not mad, nobody else should be.
But people are still so hurt over.
Guys, let it go. Let it go.
Y'all don't. Some of y'all might not remember the sheer vitriol the front office got for making that deal.
That's
Terry Rozier, like, is somebody. I don't even remember his name. I just remember he used to come in the Hornets group and talk shit. But he said that we'd be lucky to get 12 points a game.
Yeah, right.
12 and 4.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
And Terry Rozier as a Hornet has averaged.
Oh, remember, Bleacher Report said that was the worst free agent signing of that season
in a year. Terry Rozier in 4 seasons as a Charlotte Hornet has averaged 19.7, 20 points, round up for odd. 19.7 points per game, 4.5 steals, 4.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 1.2 steals. on 37% 3-point shooting. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, man. That's not bad. That's not bad
Don't
at all.
maybe bring up Kemba Walker's numbers as a Hornet
because they're kind of similar.
They're kind of close.
They're kind of close. Other than Kemba's maybe last 2 seasons, but other than that, they're kind of close.
Consider this: his previous 4 seasons with Boston, he averaged 7, 2, and 3. I mean, what are we talking about?
What are we talking about, y'all?
What are we talking about? Terry Rozier is a good player. There's a reason that other teams want. Now, I will say this. Terry Rozier is a small scoring guard.
Yeah, no doubt.
What did I say last week?
Yeah, right.
So maybe he's not the guy we need for the future, but I don't want to just treat Terry Rozier like he's just like
some scrub. Yeah,
right,
that's
yeah.
Right.
I mean,
like he's not valuable.
You think LA don't want?
Man, please. They'll take him in a millisecond. Who do you want?
Yeah. So LA, Phoenix has been the team that has been tied to him closely over this past season.
But at this point with Phoenix, I think that Bradley Beal trade killed any momentum.
I agree.
Yeah. Which I still don't understand that one. That's another story for another day. But
yeah, that was really surprising.
That's odd to me.
Really, really was surprised by that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Terry will probably. I'm not gonna say this offseason. Before the trade deadline, I would imagine that he gets moved.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward will not get moved this offseason. Trade deadline,
prime candidate.
He will have a new team.
Prime candidate. Yep.
And then he'll be an unrestricted free agent next year. Terry Rozier, I think teams are gonna wait and see what's left over from the free agent period. And see, the problem is that, though, by then, there won't be any good trade targets for Terry Rozier and the Hornets.
Right.
Because teams will have spent up all their damn money. And I'm not a big fan of just I don't want to do with Terry with what we did with Mason Plumlee, where we almost like literally gave Mason Plumlee away.
Which we predicted was going to happen. Yes, but you cannot do that with Terry, man. Nah, man. No. You got to get something valuable back for him.
I'd rather have Terry play the 2 guard again this season.
I'd rather for that to happen than to get some second round pick back for him. Like, nah, man. Nope, not with it.
Absolutely. And I'm thinking I can't think of very many good like outright trade targets.
Same.
For Terry, unless you got picks, which I'm like I said, I don't want to see no second round Terry Rozier for. That's first of all, that's disrespectful as hell to Terry Rozier.
Right.
And yeah,
I mean, because I'm thinking if something like that goes down, trade him to a contender, at least get a late first round pick for him, and maybe a young player. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm thinking something along those lines.
Another thing, we've got a log jam at the guard.
Right.
We'd probably want a wing. We could probably use another backup center. Yeah. Although I feel like just move Kai Jones to that third center spot. Right. I'm not high on him trying
being the 4. I don't see it. Nope. Oh man. Speaking of which, are you looking forward to Summer League? What do you think about Summer League?
So first of all, James Bouknight will be playing in Summer League.
Is that surprising to you?
Actually, no, because he didn't play last season. So, he's gonna play this season. He's gonna average like 52 points a game.
Right.
That's the only thing about it. It's like, okay, I get you didn't play Summer League last season, and he got a lot of criticism for not playing in Summer League, but it could have been a lot of reasons.
Yeah, right.
So he's gonna play this season, but it's like, dude, it's your 3rd year, and we've already seen that whenever you go to Greensboro, you just outright dominate.
Yeah, right.
So why are you going to Summer League for? Nah, man, just.
I tell you what, man, I'm looking forward to Summer League just because I'm just dying to see some basketball, man. You know what I mean?
No, that's true.
You know what I mean?
I do want to see Wemby versus Brandon Miller.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's going to be much see TV.
Right. But can I remind fans of something real quick? Fans. Look at me, fans. I don't care if the Hornets go undefeated or I don't care if they don't win a damn game at all.
I don't care if they lose to Belarus.
I don't care if they lose to the Dowd YMCA All-Stars. Summer League does not really matter, y'all. Do not overreact to summer league because the overreaction is going to happen for one of two reasons. Brandon Miller's going to go off for like 55 points, and then he's going to be the best player of all time. Or Brandon Miller's going to go 0 for 10, and it's going to be, oh, my God, we picked the MKG again. Y'all, whatever happens.
Scoot's going to score.
100 points. No. Scoot's going to score 15 points, and he's going to be the best fucking guard ever. Whatever happens, y'all, don't overreact to Summer League. Just please.
Summer League is just glorified gym runs, guys. I don't even know if they run plays in Summer League.
If Kai Jones is shooting 8 threes a game, they ain't designed that. Nah. Remember last year when Kai Jones thought he was Dirk Nowitzki and firing up threes all game? That's when you do that kind of stuff.
Right.
Do it in Summer League. That's what it's for. Experiment.
I will say it's gonna be interesting to see, Nick Smith.
That's what I want to see.
Miller,
yeah.
Mark Williams. I don't know if Mark Williams is playing in summer.
Nah, he's not. He's not.
He doesn't need to play in summer.
Nah, he don't need to play.
Yeah. So James Bouknight don't need to play in summer league either. But
I think what will happen with James Bouknight is you probably see him maybe the first 2 or 3 games, and then after that they'll probably just send him out the rest of
why
it.
Why not send Terry Rozier to summer league? We can win the summer league championship. What if teams start doing that? Sending they real squad to summer league so they can get a summer league championship banner.
Oh man, but no man, I'm looking forward to the young guys, man. We haven't talked about our Amari Bailey, who's one of our second round picks, man.
Who's also 6'5",
who's also another 6'5" wing player. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to kind of looking at the talent of the young guys. Yeah. I don't wins and losses. I could not care. I couldn't care less, man. I don't care. I just want to see the talent level. That's it, man.
It ought to be. And I mean, this offseason, even if the Hornets make no moves, it's still kind of exciting because
I feel the same
because we have these pieces that and it's weird to hear a lot of people, particularly in the Charlotte Hornets Facebook group, talk about how they feel like the talent is mediocre, and I just don't see it. But people ask me, well, what do you think the Hornets record is going to be? And I think I can't give a hard prediction now, but
you got to wait till October to ask me that. Yeah,
but we won 43 games with a on paper worse roster.
Right.
So why can't we at least do that? Why couldn't we at least? And this is an improved roster. Lamelo Ball is going to be better.
You finally got a center.
Got a center who's going to be better than he was last season.
Yep.
I just don't see why people think that like what we have isn't enough to start building from.
Yeah, not me. Here goes the 809th time I said this. It's a lot of our fans overreacted to last season, man.
They did. Yeah.
All the fans jumped off the Hornets boat last season.
Do you guys think the Spurs, since everyone loves licking their tank because they're the greatest, they're the greatest. When David Robinson got injured in 1998, and they was trash.
And they ended up with Tim Duncan.
By the way, they brought him back at the end of the season. A lot of people feel like they tanked. But people forget that David Robinson actually came back after his injury and finished the season.
Right.
Do you think that offseason and after they drafted Tim Duncan, their fans were like, man, we trash. All we got is David Robinson and Sean Elliott.
Please.
And,
didn't they win the damn championship?
Won the championship.
We're not saying the Hornets going to win the title, y'all. Don't start.
Actually, the Spurs did not win the championship Tim Duncan's rookie year.
But the next season, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, they won the championship. So all I'm saying is that,
I'm saying is just calm down. It should get better from here. You have to
put things into perspective, in context.
Right.
Particularly last season.
That's it. That's what we're trying to say, man.
So do that. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the offseason.
Hey, man, I want to inject a quick culture topic real quick. Just real quick.
Okay.
What the hell is going on at ESPN, man?
Ooh. I mean,
man.
So.
Hey, by the way, we are not making any cuts here at Under Construction.
No.
Yeah. Nobody got laid off.
Yeah.
We don't have any money anyway.
Yeah. So, the ESPN said that this was going to happen.
But I didn't see it happening to this extent.
It's not that they made the cuts; it's who they cut that is surprising me. So, Max Kellerman, Keyshawn Johnson, and Jay Will.
Susie Colbert, who's been there for decades.
Well, so Susie Colbert was a surprising one. Max Kellerman and Keyshawn Johnson were not surprising. Max is, he's floating around from, he's a boxing analyst first and foremost. So he's gone from HBO to ESPN and back and forth. Those cuts weren't surprising. Suzy Colbert, Jalen Rose, really surprising.
Jeff Van Gundy surprising.
Jeff Van Gundy.
That was surprising.
Really
man.
surprising.
That's like your lead guy.
But
as far
you know
as,
what I think it might be is that those of you guys who work in corporate America and have experienced layoffs, who do they always lay off? The people that make the most money. And Suzy Colbert probably
however,
she's been in the company for 4,000 years.
But the person who makes the most money, ain't never going nowhere.
Oh, Stephen A. Smith?
Exactly.
Nah, yeah. You can't lay him because
your ratings going to tank if you do that. Yeah.
So he is the personality of ESPN. But other people, I like Jalen Rose. I thought that was a really surprising one. But he probably commands a lot of money, as I think most former players probably command a larger salary.
Right.
Also, I think ESPN realizes that there is a technology shift in the way people consume sports media.
Absolutely.
When was the last time? I'll be honest, y'all. You watched Sports Center.
You woke up and you turned on the
TV
and you watched Sports Center.
Me, noon on my lunch break, I turn on YouTube, and then I look for the content that I want.
Right.
Okay. Right. Let me see what Undisputed said.
In other words, you're not going to sit through a whole show.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not sitting through 3 hours of Sports Center to hear them talk about the Cowboys and whoever. Right. I want my content.
Right.
And this is how I want to consume. Because if you go on YouTube right now, there's all these channels with bootleg. Undisputed first take,
right.
Making money off of the content the ESPN creates. They see that.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we need to get into this.
We need to make an adjustment.
Right. We need to make an adjustment.
So here's Jamal sounding like an old grumpy guy again, but so be it. But I remember back in the 90s, I feel like I say that a lot, but back in the ESPN heyday in the 90s, man. I could sit down and I could watch a whole Sports Center.
Yep.
Because Sports Center, number one, there wasn't one subject or one athlete that they just covered just even at the height of Michael Jordan and the Bulls. You don't get any more popular than that, okay?
Yep.
Even at their height, there was still so much more variety to what they used to cover. And they used to give you a little bit of everything. And they used to actually show highlights of everybody. It didn't matter how sorry you were. Everything you wanted to hear about, you could hear about in that one show. Now, granted, this is way before social media, obviously. You know what I mean? So it was almost like they were forced to have variety. Like if we don't cover it in this TV show, it's not gonna be covered.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So as the time has shifted and people's attention span is a lot shorter than it used to be. So it's like now, okay, LeBron all day, every day, Cowboys all day, every day. And people like me and you, we tuned out.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. We tuned out. I know I did. You know what I mean? Now we're at the point, and for better or for worse, and I'm not getting into this argument. I know I'm not gonna turn on ESPN to get a bunch of Hornets content.
Right.
I know I'm not gonna get a bunch of Panthers content on ESPN unless they're winning. You know what I'm saying? But I say that to say, if I'm not interested, then I'm tuning out.
Exactly. I think Dan Le Batard had on his show kind of lamented. What was going on at ESPN, and particularly ESPN is shutting down ESPN Radio.
Right.
But the thing is who really was listening to ESPN? Was y'all really listening to an hour and 41 minutes of ESPN Radio every day? No, nobody was doing that. It was.
I don't even think people know that ESPN Radio has a local station in Charlotte.
Yeah, I absolutely.
Seriously.
So I'm kind of sad to see this happen because sports media is in a weird place now.
It is.
I feel like Shannon Sharp was backpacking Fox Sports. I mean, in Undisputed.
Oh, they're going to suffer for that.
They're going to suffer.
Man.
First Things First is still a pretty decent show. Right. I mean, I'm with Nick Wright versus Chris Broussard. I think a lot of people watch that. And then ESPN, First Take has not been the same probably since Max Kellerman left the show. They've been trying to find
to keep it a buck. to keep it real, and I know I'm going to need to take a shower after I say this. First Take ain't been the same since Skip Bayless left, but let me explain why. I'm not telling you I'm a super fan of Skip Bayless, but that thing between him and Stephen A. Smith, that was the show. You understand what I'm saying?
That was the birth of
debate talk shows, and you can't take that away from them. So it hadn't even been the same since then, man.
So now we still got Part Interruption and Around the Horn.
Yeah.
Which them shows will never go anywhere.
Right. But, no, those are for the old people, old folks like me. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a different day in sports media. So maybe under construction we'll find.
Yeah, man. If y'all want this thing to grow, man, you can like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you are not watching on YouTube, go to YouTube, like, subscribe, share. Thank you.
Thank you. One last thing to talk about, sports related, before we get to shout outs. Andy Dalton.
Sit your ass down.
Andy Dalton.
Literally.
Sit your ass down.
Sit your ass down.
Andy Dalton, Carolina Panthers quarterback. Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle.
Oh, man.
I'm going to paraphrase this quote because I do have it exactly here in front of me because I sent it to you guys.
I'm sorry, Andy Dalton. What did you just say, sir?
But he stated, I'm going to read this word for word. I view myself as a starter in this league. I don't think there are 32 guys better than me.
All right, Cam.
He told that to the Fort Worth Star-Telegram in an interview. Sit your ass down. Bryce Young is the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. Did he come here and really think he was going to start?
Why would you say that right now at this point in time? You knew before you got to this team that this team had the number one pick and they were going to pick their quarterback of the future. You knew that. You knew that.
Yeah,
why are you saying this right now, Mr. Dalton? Because it ain't happening.
Yeah,
you're not starting. So what is the point of saying this? But for context, Bryce Young has already been named the day one starter. Let's make that very clear.
I think after that news came out, or after it was made public that Bryce was the day one starter, he probably felt some kind of way. And here's the thing about Andy Dalton: he's not like a terrible.
He's not trash, right?
No, he was pretty good in his time with Cincinnati. He was actually a better passer outright than Cam was. Cam broke the rookie record for passing yards. Andy Dalton was
right there,
right below him. He actually broke. He would have, if Cam hadn't been in the league, Andy Dalton would have broken the record. So I think he's capable. But dude, your time came and went.
Right. But my point is,
that was 10 years.
But
13 years ago.
So I guess the only question I would even begin to ask is maybe the Panthers told him he was going to be the bridge guy, like, oh, we'll start you and then we'll eat.
No, we ain't doing that no more. We already tried that.
So to my point is like, you knew what you were getting yourself into. Why are you?
See, I mean, I'm cool with people being confident, because Cam essentially made the same.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
if you're a quarterback, you got to. Of course, you want to believe that. Yeah,
exactly. But the reality is that
we got our guy,
and there might not be 32 guys better than the Red Rifle, but
you signed the contract to come to the Carolina Panthers, understanding that you're going to back up their number one pick. It's that simple. So if they're not 32 guys better than you, tell them, demand a trade, whatever you got to do, because it ain't happening.
I don't know, man.
That's puzzling. That is highly puzzling to me. Why you even begin to say that?
Trade for Pascal Siakam. I would certainly trade Andy Dalton for Pascal. No, actually, you don't re-sign PJ.
Oh, listen.
And then you trade Terry and get.
No. Listen, if Miles doesn't work out for some reason, Pascal Siakam is seamless. You know what I mean? Yeah. Nah, you go get him in a heartbeat. There's no question about it.
Shout outs.
Oh, man. Shout out to ESPN, man. Like, I mean, we explained maybe why all that's happening, but what kind of business sense do y'all have?
You know
What
what?
you gotta
So,
cut all
I
that?
know that Disney has owned ESPN for a very long time now, actually. And Disney, I felt like they've done a real good job with the Marvel properties, obviously. That's making damn near trillions of dollars, right? Star Wars, I think they've done an okay job with Star Wars. Some people will disagree, but I think as a whole. But ESPN and sports, the way they handle sports, because remember they bought that Bally.
Yeah,
They owned Bally Sports and was like, "Ooh, this ain't working."
Right.
And they sold it to Bally.
Yeah.
And now Bally is considering bankruptcy. So I've never been a big fan of the way Disney/ABC has handled ESPN. Remember when being a Sports Center anchor was like, that was it.
That was it. Yeah, no doubt.
And then Michael Smith and Jamel Hill had a great show, his and hers. I mean, that show was awesome. I used to actually watch the show, actually.
Right, same.
And they got so big, and their vibe and their steez was so good, and everyone loved it, that they made them Sports Center
anchors. Yeah.
And then that lasted like 2 months.
Right.
And that was it.
That was it.
And it's like, I just don't know what ESPN is. I see that they're trying to adjust to the change in which sports media is consumed, but I don't know.
I remember. Do you remember that show, The Sports Reporters? They used to come on Sunday mornings. That used to be my favorite show, man. It was a bunch of, they were everybody was in suits, man. They looked all important and stuff, man. But the dialogue was just so incredible every Sunday, man. But dog, they made Jason Whitlock likable on that show.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is, that's back when he was likable. So that just tells you how good that show was, man. And that show to me was like the pinnacle of sports reporting, because they had the best of the best.
Yeah.
It was Dick Shapp, it was Fowler, it was Jamel Hill. Like, they had the best people.
Inside the NFL, I used to love that show on HBO, and I used to watch it when it moved over to Showtime.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that sports media moves so fast now that a weekly show
and
under construction, but a weekly show, it's difficult to maintain.
I hate to say this, I truly do, but I see it as the truth though. You ever feel like ESPN slowly went away from the journalists, the quote unquote journalists, the Dick Shapps and the Fowlers and the Whitlocks? They went away from that, and they start going more towards the personalities and the athletes.
Absolutely,
you understand what I'm saying? And that shift, to me,
the fact that Kendrick Perkins did not get laid off says a lot to me about.
I couldn't have said it better, man.
Also, shout out to Nick Wright for
shout out to Nick Wright for being wrong again, because by the way, LaMelo, he wasn't going to be here 2 more years according to Nick Wright. So
Nick Wright just, he cuddles up to his LeBron pillow every night. And he throws darts at his Michael Jordan poster.
So anything to disparage Michael or make LeBron better. Yep.
He tried to say one time that Michael Jordan's failings as an owner
should be entered into the GOAT debates.
Only because if it was LeBron, we'd hold that again. Well, first of all, we don't even know LeBron's still playing in the league, man. LeBron never owned a team.
Not to mention, sensible people would not do that.
That's what Chris Broussard said. He was like, sensible. He said the same thing. Sensible people wouldn't make that argument. But
oh my god,
I agree, Chris. ESPN focused way too much on being the sports entertainment.
Yeah. Instead of doing like real journalist work like they used to do. That's what I miss about ESPN.
It's okay. I mean,
we got y'all covered, I think. Yeah, at least locally.
At least I know, because we can just say whatever.
Right? Nobody cares.
Cares.
That's the beauty of under construction. We have no filter here, and nobody cares. So cool. Yeah, except y'all.
Just keep talking shit.
That's it.
But if the LaMelo bag come to under, y'all will know. I'll just say, we won't make an announcement, but there will be changes.
I might come in a suit. You might see me suit and tie, look all distinguished.
Start using words like blasphemous, preposterous,
incredulous.
Oh boy! All right, that's gonna do it for us this week, man. Hopefully, we have like an exciting week of free agency.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff to talk about next
Hopefully
week.
we have some fireworks. I was hoping we had some fireworks today, but none. I'm looking on Twitter to see if we had any updates. Nothing came through, man. So maybe next week.
It's done calm down. So,
yeah, no doubt.
But we'll see. But
I mean, what's for lunch, man? What you eating for lunch?
Actually, I'm about to go to fish fry at my cousin's house.
Okay, all right.
Breaking news: Miles is staying the season per Shams. So you BSing us, AJ Watson?
Oh, right. Look at that. What?
Wow.
Miles Bridges is preparing a $7.9 million qualifying offer for the 23-24 season, clearing the way for him to become unrestricted next summer.
So he's accepting the qualifying offer.
Wow.
All right, we can't go anywhere just yet, y'all.
Yeah, we were going to end this show. Look at that. At the buzzer. At the buzzer. At the buzzer. Wow.
I don't like this.
I don't like it either. I don't like it either. I like it for next season.
You sign the qualifying offer
for that little amount of money,
so that you can be a UFA at the end of next season. I don't like that.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I put it to you like this: by All-Star break next season, Hornets better be working damn hard to get him to sign that extension, buddy. The last thing we want is for Miles to go into next season unrestricted.
I'm wondering if paying Lamelo was a mistake.
In that regard.
Because now Miles is like, hold
on. He got what?
I was the leading scorer.
And you're not offering me anything close to that.
And I've been on the team. I came the year before Lamelo.
I'm gonna say this again. By All-Star break next season, Mitch and whoever's in charge better be working damn hard for him we cannot let Miles go into next season unrestricted. We better damn sure hope they're working on signing that extension during the season coming up.
I don't like it. I don't think he's gonna resign.
It don't look like it.
Because if you wanted to, you would have just
resigned right now.
Resigned for the
right.
It or
offer us some hope, Kaiser.
The market wasn't there.
That could be it.
And then because teams are like, first of all, you ain't even played in a year, and you're going to miss the first 10 games of the season. So maybe this is kind of like a prove it year.
Now, one thing here is one thing I left out. Hornets and Bridges are far apart in extension talks. That was the last sentence of this. Yeah, important to note. So what you said at first is probably closer. It is closer to the truth, actually. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing.
But back to go ahead. Go ahead first, bro.
Let's say Miles Bridges plays at an all-star level.
Prove it.
Then do you offer him the max?
Kaza, at that point, you may not have a choice. There may not be a choice at that point.
Yeah. Because I think
it's as simple as that.
Because
bro.
I think other teams will offer Miles Bridges the max.
Detroit is licking their chops.
And even then, if he's a UFA, it might not mean anything if the Hornets offer the max.
Right.
He might not want to stay here.
Just when I think we weren't gonna have any fireworks this show.
Oh man,
the fireworks have just went off.
This kind of dampers a little of my excitement for next season. Because see, here's the problem. Let's say they have a good season with Miles Bridges.
Right.
They're not gonna be able to carry that on because Miles Bridges will probably leave. Even if I gotta believe that. Let's say the Hornets make him a max offer.
But I'm gonna offer a but. If the Hornets offer Miles Bridges a max deal next season, who else is gonna do it? Think about it. I mean, why not? Because if that's what you're looking for anyway, and you prove it on the court next season, which is very key to what I'm saying right now. if you prove it next season, if you go and you beat an all-star, you go average 25 a game and you make an all-star team, then you have the leverage to say, I deserve the max. And then that puts the Hornets the Hornets lose their leverage.
That's true, but
then at that point, they kind of have to.
But I don't even think the Hornets, I don't even think it will matter. The Hornets will say, okay, you made your point.
Right.
Here's $250 million.
Right.
You think Detroit wouldn't give
Miles
$250
but why would you go to Detroit over Charlotte right now?
He's a Michigan guy.
But from a basketball perspective, strictly basketball.
But if we're talking that, he would have signed an extension as a restricted free agent and just stayed here in the better situation.
But somebody like Detroit, personal opinion, Detroit they're not going anywhere. They're all over the place.
Maybe he feels like Brandon Miller is a threat to his standing on the team. Kind of like how LaMelo may have felt with Scoop.
But he shouldn't. Because to me, they're two different guys, in my opinion. Because going into next season, I'm envisioning Miles at the 4 and Brandon Miller at the 3. So what are you really threatened by? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It to me, I hate to put it like this, but a real basketball or whatever I'm trying to say, Miles should be excited about Brandon Miller being on that team. You know what I'm saying? So, listen. When that news broke of Clutch Sports wanting to rescind the qualifying offer, I knew it was going to be some shit. I knew it. Because I know how Rich Paul works. You understand what I'm saying? So I just knew it was going to be something, man.
Yeah, I mean,
like, we should be excited by this news, but we know how this works.
Oh yeah,
and the fact that they said that they're far apart on the extension, that dampers it. That really dampers it.
This is not a good thing. Hornets
not overall.
fans.
Not overall.
No.
Nah. Next season it may be a good thing, but beyond that,
it's especially not good if the Hornets are good next season. It's worse if the Hornets are good, because then Miles would be like, "See,
I told y'all.
Yep. With me, we're a playoff team. Give me $260 million."
And at that point, if you're the Hornets, what you do? You gonna let them go? You can't, man. You can't. But see, then we start. Let's speak in hypotheticals. Let's say the Hornets give him that money. Now you're in cap hell with this new CBA coming up. And that presents another problem.
So if you have LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges
both making max, and you ain't contending for titles,
I'd say you better be in the
ECF. Better be in the ECF. Exactly. You better be in the damn Eastern Conference Finals if you got two max guys. Yeah. So, Miles, look, prove it. Go out. Miles, damn it. You prove it. This is your prove it season.
But see, here's my thing, man.
Go ahead.
On one hand, I know that there's no loyalty in corporate America. Let's be real, the NBA is corporate America, right? So I can understand a player wanting to go get the bag. A player always has to do what's best for him or her or their family or whatever.
But the context behind this particular situation,
it's like,
man.
Dog, the Hornets were with you
through when nobody else was.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
They didn't come out. They didn't make a statement about,
See, real quick. See, this is the kind of shit. This is why Michael Jordan can't take this kind of stuff. This is why, y'all. All y'all like to bash Michael and he's the worst. This kind of stuff right here.
Jarrell said, "Hey, it's not on MJ this
time." This is the kind of stuff where Michael's like, "I can't handle this anymore."
Good point. Huge decisions for the new owners next year. Huge, massive. Imagine buying the Hornets, and now this is
this is on the table. Yep.
See, here's the thing. All the people like, man, Mitch won't be around for next year. Do you really want to do this with a new GM?
I would not want to do that to no. Hell no.
No, I'd be like, Mitch, please
stay. Please stay. Please work this out. Please figure, because I don't want some little 25-year-old GM working on this. Man, you crazy?
Miles.
Sir, do you mind if please?
LaMelo,
I have LaMelo with me here, and he would really like you to stay, sir.
Yeah, Mitch, please fix this.
Fix this somehow. We don't have the answers today.
Oh my
We don't have
I'm not going to go off on a tangent here because I'd have to really collect my thoughts about what I totally feel about agencies like Clutch Sports.
Yeah.
And Rock Nation.
Because I could totally go off on a tangent.
Because
let me real quick.
Ahead, yeah,
on
please.
On one hand, I love the fact that we had. Listen, before you make me laugh. On one hand, I love the fact that I love all these black men that have these agencies and they're giving power to the player. On that hand, I love it. On the other hand, it's this kind of stuff where I just give them a side eye, like
because so here's where the conflict is. These situations are great for the players.
Right.
They're terrible for the fans.
Right. They are. That's the statement I was looking for, but couldn't get it out.
And I don't mean this might be great for fans of the NBA because there are some people that don't follow a team; they just follow a player, whatever. Right. But for those of us who I like the Hornets because they are
my team.
They are. They represent my city, my region, my community. They do things for the community. They are the community. So I want to. These situations are terrible for fans like us.
And listen. Let me go ahead and piss you off even more. If this is Clutch Sports and Rich Paul, you know damn well where he wants Miles Bridges to go next season.
Yeah, you know LeBron called him up.
Kaiser, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself if he ends up on the damn leg. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Toby said we might just need to get our mind ready to see Bridges in another uniform. You know what? If I'm the Hornets, I might be looking at a sign and trade. Honestly, Pascal Siakam,
please. Hey, look,
take your ass to Toronto.
If that were to happen, bye, Miles.
I'd be fine
goodbye,
with that.
goodbye,
Yeah.
goodbye.
I'd be fine with
goodbye.
That.
Goodbye. Just
so
to not deal with this headache, man.
Yeah, can Miles just borrow from Lamelo when they fake autographs?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. You was doing shit like that, and the Hornets stood by you, and now you're like, nah, I don't.
I gotta look out for me, dog. It's kind of slimy to sit here and say, "Oh, I gotta look out for me," but when they've been looking out for you for the last year, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Let me say this real quick. This to me, there's one positive thing about this. There's one positive thing. To me, this opens the door to re-sign PJ Washington now.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Man, but there's a but to that too. Okay, you re-signed PJ. What if they just gave him $17 million? Miles Bridges is probably gonna look at that like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, you know what? I'm out. I might would do now. John W says Clutch playing chess, not checkers. I agree with that.
I kind of agree with that.
But at some point, you have to. I don't want to use the word loyalty, but
sensibility maybe.
Yeah, like you have to you might not be in the league if the Hornets hadn't been there by your side. Legally and in the public eye.
Right.
Like you still have a career.
But
just like Malik Monk.
Yeah.
You still have a career because the Charlotte Hornets, and maybe that's been the biggest failing of the Jordan era.
What's that?
Coddling
players. Right.
We coddle Malik Monk. Obviously, Jordan liked Monk. They had a weird relationship. I've never seen Michael Jordan smack a guy in the back of the head.
That means you're pretty close.
Yeah, exactly. And you get caught with a schedule. Guys just get caught. I mean, he was doing what he was. We know what he was doing.
Right.
And
they still sticking by book night.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe this is just maybe this will be a lesson learned for them.
Right.
With Miles.
Right. Fans, y'all can never. One thing y'all have said a lot about Michael and Mitch. One thing you cannot say is that they don't care about their players. You can't. I'm not ever buying that narrative ever again. Yep. Like, nope, I'm not here for it at all.
I don't think it would be different if I thought that this move was done in order to force the Hornets into the paying Miles the bag.
Right.
I don't think that's it. I think this is just so he can leave Charlotte.
It looks that way.
Because
But
yeah.
I got one simple question. Just one simple question. Why did he sign? Why did he accept this offer?
Well,
because that's pretty damn low.
Well, I mean, because now he can be a RFA, or I'm sorry, unrestricted free agent.
So he's playing the long game.
Yeah, if he declines the offer, then he, then if he declines the offer, he doesn't play at all. Declines the offer, and another team makes him a deal, and the Hornets match it, and he doesn't want the Hornets deal, then he just doesn't play.
Right.
If he declines the offer and another team makes him a deal in the Hornets match, he has to play. If he takes the offer and signs it, well, then he has to play for Charlotte, but then he can play for anyone he wants the following season. So, to me, that's the only reason I can think of that you would accept the qualifying offer.
Same.
So that you could leave.
Right.
Which, if Miles Bridges doesn't want to be a Charlotte Hornet, that says a lot about
his character,
his already questionable character.
I agree, man. I agree.
Like,
and I'm look, I'll say this too, man. But just don't negate how much influence Clutch Sports has had over this too. You know what I'm saying? I'll put most of it on Miles, but I think Clutch Sports has as much influence on this as anything else, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to be fair, that's his agent, his sports agent. So their job is to make sure that their client ends up with the best possible.
But at the end of the day, you work for Miles Bridges. You know what I'm saying? And Miles Bridges, at some point, I would have liked to have him said, "Hey, man, the Hornets looked out for me. Let's try to work it out with the Hornets."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah,
right.
But
we don't live in that world, though.
Players aren't built like that anymore.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah. By signing, he can veto a midseason trade. Yeah, we'd have to. I'm not sure about that either, but that might be the case.
Yeah.
If you take a qualifying offer.
God, boy, you know what? It gets real interesting from here, man.
Yeah,
it gets really interesting from here. I
bet Mitch his pacemaker probably on 10 right now. Michael Jordan on the golf course, like, I ain't gonna do this. He called the new one. He's like, "Hey, y'all see this shit? Y'all, this what y'all wanted, right? $3 billion. Don't back out now."
Gabe, you sure, bro? You sure, Gabe? All right, man.
Mike, we looked at the numbers and it just, it's just not right. Nah, it's too late for that.
Too late now. This is y'all mess to fix now. So,
boy, this is something.
That's crazy. This happened at the last second of this show, bro. Again, I'm telling y'all, I've been doing this all day, just waiting for an update to give y'all some breaking news during the show. And as soon as we were about to end the show, boom.
You know what? I think you make Kelly an offer. You really make Kelly.
You really make Kelly. Yes, sir. I even prioritize that over PJ.
Yeah,
I said it. Yeah,
I'd bring Kelly back and then and say, "Okay, Miles, this is who you competing against now.
Right,
we get Kelly the bag.
Right,
you want it, so now
you go get it.
Yep,
go get it.
And because now, if you re-sign Kelly to 3-4 years. Now you have an insurance policy for if Miles Bridges bounces the next season. The impact is lessened. Mm-hmm. Not that Kelly Oubre is Miles Bridges, but from a pure production standpoint, he can ease the blow. And as Jason says, or was that Jason? Brandon Miller, or Toby says, Brandon Miller has to hit.
Absolutely.
So if Brandon Miller ends up being good, and then you have Kelly Oubre back, I think losing Miles Bridges the next season isn't quite as impactful. Now Jason says sign Grant over at Kelly Oubre. Grant Williams?
Nah, I don't. I don't.
We talked about that. I mean,
not over.
Like,
if
Grant Williams cannot be the backup plan to losing Miles Bridges, that can't be.
That can't be it. Now, Grant Williams as a backup plan to PJ Washington.
Okay, so you re-sign PJ, you re-sign Kelly,
right?
Because so now you've actually saved a bunch of money.
That's the good part about this. That's the one good thing about this for this particular season. Now you have money where you can spend on Oubre and PJ.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then so I think you can build a contingency plan
that way.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
You can keep the core together. You can essentially keep the best players on your roster on the roster.
Absolutely.
And then all right, Miles, let's see what you got. And then even if you make him a deal and he goes elsewhere, you're still good for the next 3 or 4 years.
The other thing that I'm thinking about going into next season is that how much of a distraction is this going to be to him, to the team? You know what I mean? Like I just don't this lingering thing going in the next season, man. That I just it's never a good thing,
plus,
man.
What will his teammates think about that?
Right. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm saying.
It seems like he still has a good.
What's Lamelo gonna think about that?
It seems like he still has a good relationship with his teammates, especially Lamelo. But I mean, I'm sure they're gonna be like, "Hey, man, you gotta do you."
Right.
Whatever.
Hey, look, but I'm gonna say this again, man. If it does happen where they give him the money he wants, he better put up, because if he doesn't put up at this point, if they give him the money.
Also, so you got to do something about Gordon Hayward, right? I'll pull Gordon aside and I say, okay, what would you like?
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to stay a Hornet because we could restructure?
Right.
We pay you $12 million. You come off the bench.
Do you want another Nick Batum situation though?
Well, see, that's the thing with a restructure. You're not. It's not like with Batum, you waived him,
right,
and then hoped he got picked up off waivers,
right,
but no one did because no one's that stupid.
Right.
And then you're still on the hook for $27 million. And you got to spread that out.
Right.
With Hayward, you can go to him and be like, okay, here, we're gonna trade you at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either, make $35 million this year and then get, traded to be a UFA,
right?
Or you can stay a Hornet for a lot less.
Yeah.
Because Gordon Hayward's got to know he's like, okay, so the paydays are over.
Yeah, nobody else is paying him what he gets now.
He's not gonna make. He's not even gonna make $20 million.
Right.
He may not even make $15 million, depending on where he gonna be in the Tony Parker deal.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right.
5 to 10.
So you get him on a Tony Parker deal.
Yeah.
You have to now prepare for life without Miles Bridges.
Yeah. But to your point, because here's the thing, man. If you're the Hornets and let's just say you have some foresight and you're saying to yourself, you know what, there may be we may get to a place where we have to play Miles. Now, what you do with Gordon and Terry becomes that much more important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It now becomes that much more important because think about it this way, dude. I'm gonna keep saying this, and I've said this a million times in the Jordan era, and people used to get on me about this all the time. People used to get on Jordan about not going into the luxury tax, and I will maintain you don't go into the luxury tax unless you feel like this team is going to contend.
Right.
I don't see that for this team just yet, so I don't go into the luxury tax keeping Miles, Gordon, and Terry. I just don't do that. I'm sorry, man. Don't do it.
I think, but I think the Hornets are going to keep steady with whatever their plan is.
No doubt.
And they may see this as a boom because they're going to save money this season.
Right.
They're only going to pay Miles Bridges $7 million.
They need to make a negative a positive.
Yes. So now the possible, $18 million you would have paid Miles Bridges this season, $15 million. Now you can put that somewhere else because you don't want to sit on that cap space this year. I think you can use it to sign a free agent or re-sign Kelly or re-sign PJ and Kelly or do something to that effect. But
oh man,
damn,
wow, that just leaves me shocked, man.
All right.
We got anything else after that, man?
Who else gonna hit a last second?
Anybody else want to hit a last second shot real quick? Any PJ news at the last second?
Man, oh man!
Wow, that's something.
Shout out to Miles Bridges. Shout at Clutch Sports.
Shout at Clutch Sports, man. Yeah.
I mean, get the bag. Isn't it funny? The narrative was LaMelo leaving Charlotte.
Now we're on Miles now.
But LaMelo signs a 5-year extension.
How quickly things can change in the NBA, man.
Oh, have we hit the rate limit on Twitter yet?
Under construction did a little bit yesterday.
Oh, did we? Okay.
Shout out Elon Musk. You go to hell. That's
okay,
my shout out.
Twitter has been trash for
but it's
now,
trashier now.
He really just destroyed.
Yeah, shout out Elon Musk. But what a piece of crap, man.
Imagine like destroying one of the largest social media platforms in history.
For what?
Because let me tell you a secret about billionaires. They don't actually have billions of dollars. They don't.
Their worth is worth
it.
Right.
And sometimes barely that. Their assets are worth that. So when Elon Musk bought Twitter, he essentially got a $40 billion loan based on his assets and his worth. And he got to pay that loan. He got to pay it.
And guess who he wants to pay?
Us. Yep.
Guess who ain't paying?
Us. Under construction ain't got no money, bro. No money.
We don't need the blue check for y'all. So, y'all know who we don't need the blue check.
Sorry, Elon.
Elon. We ain't got it.
Yep.
Jerk. I'm going to Bojangles. I'm hungry.
I hope they do that fight with him and Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh God,
Mark Zuckerberg been training. Go look it up.
He in shape too, man.
Yeah, he's actually been training. He's been rolling. He's been training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai.
Kick his ass.
Yes, I will pay.
I'll pay for that.
I'll pay money. You need some money, Elon? Fight Mark Zuckerberg. I'll pay for that. Yep. Why don't you get your ass whooped on pay-per-view? I'll watch that. That would be so great.
Oh man, so say to the next week, man. I foresee more fireworks by next week.
We might have to do some short reels and clips throughout the week.
Yeah, because it's gonna be a lot, bro.
It's gonna be some action.
Yeah, man.
Wake Mitch up out the nursing home.
I don't know. Look. I don't know why y'all saying that. Cause Mitch seemed like you've been pretty busy to me the last couple of days. So
no, Michael Jordan makes all moves. Michael Jordan.
I forgot.
Yeah,
I forgot. Michael Jordan. He's the GM. Yeah, I forgot. Because that's what everybody told me.
Maybe Clutch Sports should represent Andy Dalton.
That
would be dope.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
We feel like Andy Dalton's starting quarterback. Hey, goodbye, sir.
Get the bag.
Get
That's
the
our
bag,
advice
Andy.
to you guys.
Yeah.
Go get the bag.
Go get the bag, man.
Secure it. Hey, y'all take care. Have a great week.
Like, share, subscribe.
I'll tell you happy
Thank
4th
you.
of July, but fuck 4th of
July. Who cooking out?
Yeah.
Anybody cooking out?
Hey, no, enjoy the time off of the family at the very least, okay? All right? Love y'all. We'll see y'all next